It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Miss everybody, and a very special holiday wish from all of us here at 2K Sports.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Ernie Johnson and Shaq and Kenny.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, it's
Santa Claus.
What a festive day it is. In this game, we'll see the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Rockets in Houston. Taking a look at the Rockets, more than solid play for them of late. 7 wins in their last 10 outings, making their mark and playing well. From all of us here at 2K, Merry Christmas!
Ho, ho, ho.
Nowhere I would rather be on this day than here with you guys.
I got a couple other places, but this is not bad either.
You know
I got a
what
couple other places,
Ernie?
got a couple other guys.
You know what I got for Christmas this morning?
What'd you give?
Not a dang thing.
No?
I'm
No
Santa,
gifts?
I'm Santa Claus. Santa Claus don't get gifts.
Oh. Well, it sure is great to be here and be watching NBA hoop, isn't it,
It
fellas?
is, buddy. It sure is.
Well, I appreciate the helicopter, Santa, that you got me today.
That wasn't Santa. That was me.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
Well, I think the game's just about ready to start. So what do you say we go to Kevin Harlan?
Yeah.
Good idea.
I
Kev.
didn't buy that for you. You got to return it.
Welcome to a special presentation of the NBA on Christmas Day here on 2K Sports. We want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg alongside. And our sideline reporter tonight is Doris Burke. A battle in the Western Conference, this Houston crowd hoping to watch their Rockets come out on top. And this game, the first chance they've had to see the San Antonio Spurs. They could only manage a single win in 4 tries against these guys last year.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year they came out on the losing end.
And, you know, with 2 teams in the upper pyramid in the early going, important to establish that pecking order, especially within your conference. So this game is important.
Tip-off goes to Houston. And the starting group for the Spurs. The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the 5. And the basket by Brewer.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Now here's Harden. Motiejunas has the open look. It's rebounded by Leonard. Parker with it. Now let's find out what head coach Greg Popovich had to say to Doris Burke. Doris?
He said that they'd be focusing a lot of their defensive energies on containing Ty Lawson, especially in transition. He added, Lawson is one of the fastest players in the league. So if you let him get out and run, you are putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. We've got to keep him in the half court and limit his penetration. Guys?
Thanks a lot, Doris. Brewer's shot is off. Well, you've got Greg Popovich, and I think he puts this at times grumpy demeanor in a more of a spotlight. And he's playing along, as we all know, with the sideline reporters. He knows, Greg, you know this firsthand, when to turn it on, when to turn it off. He can be as compassionate a person, Clark, that you and I have ever been around.
Yeah, he's competitive, but he understands that we're all human, and he treats people the right way all the time. Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Houston's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Lawson in the corner. And it's sent back by Aldridge. Outside, Green. Aldridge with it. Picked up by Motiejunas. Aldridge against Motiejunas. Aldridge kicks to Parker. The 17-footer. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. And here's Lawson. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. He feeds it to Harden. It's stolen by Green. Leonard kicks to Parker. Aldridge with a screen on Lawson. Nobody near Leonard. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Leonard's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Lawson drives in, kicks it to Howard, lays it up and banks it in.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Aldridge with a screen on Lawson. Over in the corner, Green. The Spurs rebound. For the Houston Rockets, they come in off the loss to the Magic.
And just looking at the stat sheet, they gave far too many free throws away in that game. Maybe it was the noise in the building or something, but they really looked rattled.
Well, Greg, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but all of those misses from the stripe clearly had an impact on that game.
Here's Parker following the basket by Dwight Howard. Here's Aldridge. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down.
Boy, that was a thing of beauty by Parker.
Houston in the lead. Lawson outside. He dishes it to Harden. Here's Lawson. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. No problems knocking that one down. Brewer's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for the Rockets. Parker outside. To the paint. Howard with the steal. Brewer the pass to Lawson. To the middle. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Duncan. Here's Leonard. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 3 assists now in this one.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And so last season for Tony Parker, somewhat of a shift. I mean, he was solid, but injuries cost him a few games. He also had his lowest assist and points per game totals since his rookie year. But he fought through like the champion that he is.
4 on the shot clock. Duncan. Again, Duncan missing.
You know, the right thing there to try to fade away with the D all over him, but that is a difficult shot to sink.
Lawson against Parker. Lawson dishes to Moniunas. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Moniunas has got his first points in this one. Last year, a big challenge for Tony Parker. He was in his 14th season, obviously. Every great player needs to transform his game as he gets on an age clock. We've seen it with the great ones. Parker did put up the highest three-point percentage of his career last year.
And he also ran the offense with tremendous poise and professionalism and cut down the turnover average as well, the lowest of his career.
Here's Lawson. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Harden outside. Moniunas, that's a screen for Harden. Feeds it to Moniunas. Houston moving the ball around. Brewer's shot is off. Spurs trail by 3. And the pass to Green. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
In a season where everyone in the Southwest made it to the playoffs, you just knew it was going to be a war of attrition night in and night out. Still, the Rockets managed to come out on top in the division.
And the Rockets were just 8 up and 8 down in the Southwest Division. But, Clark, they won the out-of-division games they needed to in order to take the division crown.
Exactly, and it was a tough year to do that because the division was so tough. It was actually the first ever Southwest Division title for the Rockets.
The Spurs making a switch here. West is checked in. He makes 1 of 2 that time. Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
Boy, that's a nice feed by Lawson. And you look at the Spurs and how they avoid losing streaks. I mean, most teams losing 4 in a row wouldn't be such a big deal. It's only a big deal for the Spurs because they're so consistent year in and year out.
Now to see the numbers for West. His last 10 games, he's averaging 10 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Guys, he's a difference maker off the bench. Steps into that front court and more than holds his own.
You know, his willingness to bang down low, move opponents off the block, those are valuable contributions.
Jones checked in for Houston. Patrick Beverley comes in for Ty Lawson. And San Antonio also making a switch. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Green.
And guys, for the Spurs, a big reason they rarely go on losing streaks is that they have no bad matchups. One of only 3 teams in the NBA last year to defeat every other NBA team. Winning for this group is just second nature.
And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting, his rebounding, as we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
You know, on the topic of Aldridge's rebounding, I mean, he doesn't do it by banging people around. He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
Mills, he's checked in for San Antonio. Both free throws good from Aldridge.
And guys, going back to Aldridge, last season was a difficult one for him. He had the torn ligament in his left thumb, but still fought through it to become the Blazers' all-time leader in rebound.
Harden has a wide-open look. Makes a big height bounce and goes in. And the Rockets lead by 4.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Mills, that's a 2-pointer. West gets the bucket.
I'll tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Now here's Beverley. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Here's Harden. Score it. His third straight basket in 3 tries.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Aldridge with a screen on Beverley. It's rebounded by Houston.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
No one covering. Now it's a 6-point Rocket lead.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
Now here's Mills. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Shots good from West. Now Beverley. It's deflected. One-on-one fast break. Here's Mills, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Terrific effort on that shot. I mean, he's given up a lot of inches in that mismatch.
Well, height, who cares about height? I mean, it's just a number. Hey, you got to go with what you got. And he took what he had right at him there.
Houston making some changes. KJ McDaniels, he's checked in for Brewer. And it's Thornton in for James Harden. Boris Diaz checked in for the Spurs. Kyle Anderson comes in for Leonard. And Thornton kicks to Jones. Thornton against Ginobili. Clock at 6. Beverley wide open. It's good from long range. Beverly's got his first 3 points of the game.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Diaw, the screen. Diaw with the screen on Thornton. Ginobili, that's for 2. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now here's Beverly. There's the triple. Ginobili grabs the board. Spurs trail by 3. West setting the pick for Ginobili. And West now top of the key. That's good. West has got 6.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Now here's Beverly. Outside, Jones. Here's McDaniels. And it comes off the front of the rim.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Well, you know, Hall of Famer and 3-time champion Kevin McHale, the Rockets coach, did nothing but find success and win as a player. And, you know, that's been the same song for him as a coach.
Houston's gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. Thornton passes to Howard. McDaniels kicks to Thornton. Screened by Howard. Thornton dishes to Howard. Can't hit from in close.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Now here's Mills, defended by Beverly. Mills with it. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Outside, Jones. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. San Antonio trailing here. Ginobili the pass to Anderson. There's the pick. West a screen on Thornton. West up on top. Dishes to Ginobili. West setting the pick for Ginobili. Hits the three-point bomb. Ginobili's got his second bucket tonight.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
Now here's Beverly. And that one's good. Beverly's got it all tied up now for the Rockets.
Not much defense to speak of yet here, guys.
Nope, it's been all offense, fellas, all the time here early. They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. It's the Spurs as they end the first quarter with a 13-5 run. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And LaMarcus Aldridge, the franchise player on this team, without question. He talked about the responsibility that comes with that role.
In every aspect, you know, it's a change for us, being more vocal, doing it on the court, trying to lead in practice. I think overall everything I do has to be better because guys are trying to follow me.
Greg, does that acceptance come with putting a whole lot more pressure on yourself? And if so, what does that do to LaMarcus Aldridge's game?
And, you know, Kevin, that's what's going to be so interesting to find out. Some players, you know, they really relish in that situation. They rise to that occasion. And others, I don't want to say they wilt under the pressure, but they're just not comfortable in that environment. And in the NBA, you get to do it on TV and in front of thousands in person.
And we're ready to get rolling once again here for our Christmas Day matchup. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
Really, it's always a positive when you can get some impact off your bench.
Always nice to have firepower coming from the reserves, and they've had firepower and then some so far.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So on the floor for Houston. Lawson out there with Harden. Then it's Jones. Then there's Moniunas. And it's Brewer in at the small forward.
Assist from Daniel.
Quarter number 2. We're about a minute in. Green against Harden. From 13. The shot no good. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
They just looked stable pretty much from the get-go, guys. I mean, sometimes you'll see some inconsistencies come up in a road game that you don't see at home, but not the case in that one.
Tremendous balance on display, Greg. I mean, when you look at who was carrying the scoring load, making assists, playing unselfishly, I mean, they had it all working, and that led to the nice road win.
And Brewer kicks to Lawson. Here's Harden on the wing, guarded by Green. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Well, for James Harden, with his incredible regular season last year, Clark knew he was in for a great postseason as well.
And it was a bit of a roller coaster for him in the playoff run. I mean, he could vanish one game, but then explode for 40 in the next.
Taking 2 shots.
And with Harden in the playoffs, it was an all-or-nothing situation at times. He definitely stole some games for Houston in their run to the conference finals. But, man, did he have a rough one when they were eliminated by the Warriors.
Marcus Aldridge has checked in for Boris Diaw. Harden hits them both.
And, you know, that tough game for Harden in the conference finals, a dozen turnovers for him, set an NBA record for most turnovers in a playoff game. Not how he wanted to go out, but he showed he can carry a team for stretches during the playoffs.
Now here's Parker. The scoring numbers have been solid for him. He's averaging just under 14 points a game.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Moniunas, a screen on Leonard. Lawson gets to Moniunas. The Rockets with another miss. Spurs leading by 4. Green with the ball. And it's Harden picking him up. Parker against Lawson. Parker left side. 6 on the shot clock. The alley-oop. Got a piece of it. Duncan against Lawson. Screen by Jones. The 3-ball. The shot misses. And the Spurs going the other way now. Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. Green dishes to Aldridge. Knocks down the 10-footer. And now it's a 6-point Spurs lead.
Boy, can he finish in the paint. That's one thing we know he's good at.
Moniunas, a screen on Leonard. Wants in the pass to Moniunas. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Clark, last season we saw Moniunas make some nice strides.
Yeah, a big uptick in his scoring efficiency, Kevin. Both his shooting from beyond the arc and from within the arc increased.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good.
And Moniunas actually showing a newfound post repertoire there. I mean, he's deceptive. He has hooks and pump fakes, little up and unders. The Rockets looked to him for offense when they weren't playing through Harden.
Good on the second free throw.
And Moniunas is a very confident player. I think where he can still improve is his rebounding and defensive impact. With a 7-foot frame, he's got to learn to play like a 7-footer.
Now here's Parker. Offensive rebound. Aldridge shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. Aldridge has got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Harden outside. They set the pick to the wing on the left. Lawson is doubled. Here's Moniunas. Duncan with the block. Parker kicks to Leonard. Good D by Harden.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. I mean, totally collapsed the defense on him.
Lawson outside. This one for three. Harden, no good. San Antonio leading by 7. Parker outside. To the right side. From the baseline. And he's able to get it back. And Duncan gets it to go in. Duncan's got 4 points now in the quarter. For Houston, they've gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. Lawson's against Leonard. On the wing, Brewer. Wide open. That is in there. Lawson with the assist. Lawson's got his 8th assist in the game. The Spurs have gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. And then Leonard with the dunk.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Now, here is Harden, who's coming off a 25-point game against the Magic in Orlando. 5 on the clock. Lawson with it. Leonard picks him up. No good from Lawson.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Duncan dishes to Parker. Here's Aldridge. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. And now an 11-point Spurs lead. Houston's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. The focus of the discussion was getting their offense to run through LaMarcus Aldridge. Coach reminded his guys that he is the centerpiece of their offense, and he's the one they want with the most freedom to operate. So, Kevin, changes already being made on the fly here in the second quarter.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Now, here's Lawson. Screen by Jones. The open shot by Brewer, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. Brewer's got 10.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
There's Parker with the 3. Brewer with the rebound. For a while, the Spurs were viewed as a slow-it-down team from their championships almost a decade ago. That isn't the case at all anymore.
You know, I think it took the viewing public quite a while to catch on, though, Kevin, because now most people look at the Spurs as one of the more exciting brands of basketball in our league. Just watching one game of them, and now you know that is the case.
And San Antonio has possession. The Rockets making the shot, and it's good. Fought through contact, it's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. Houston with a big group substitution here. Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Terrence Jones. McDaniels comes in for Corey Brewer. Marcus Thornton, he's checked in for James Harden. And it's Patrick Beverley in for Ty Lawson. San Antonio also making some changes. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. Ginobili comes in for Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Thornton, no good.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Passes it to McDaniels. Out left to the wing. Here's Howard. The shot will not go. Some solid defense from Aldridge. Spurs leading by 13. Now the dish to Mills. Aldridge against Beverly. Aldridge, the pass to Leonard. Trying to find Mills. Gets it to him. Rebounded by Howard. Howard's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Down low. It's deflected. Leonard with the steal. At the elbow, it's Ginobili. It's rebounded by Houston.
And although not a block officially, it might as well have been his ability to react and alter the shot.
Greg, I don't think there was any doubt about it. His defense threw him off on that shot.
Here's McDaniels. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Now here's Mills. They lead by 11. He kicks it to Aldridge. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way. Aldridge has got 8 points here in this quarter. Houston's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Here's Beverly. That one's all good. Now he's 3 for 5 from the field.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
Here's Aldridge. Rockets with the rebound. Howard's got 6 rebounds here tonight. McDaniels kicks to Beverly. That cuts the lead to single digits. Beverly's got 9.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
And Leonard gets it to go.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach. Look at some stats for Manu Ginobili. His last 10 games, averaging about 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he can play some valuable minutes on the wing for this team.
Yeah, and you know, when he's hot, it's really quite nice to watch. I mean, when he's cold, you simply sit him down. I mean, save him for the next time.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Anderson in for Leonard. Here's Moniunas. 14 points from him the last game against the Magic in Orlando.
And also, he competed on the backboards. That also had a lot to do with the game.
Now, here's Moniunas. Lets it go from 11. Connects. The jumper drops. Moniunas has got 5 points so far. Spurs leading by 9. Ginobili kicks to Diaw. The feed to Mills. Here's the 3. Rebounded by Howard. Last season was difficult for Dwight Howard, to say the least, across the board. Worse since, in fact, his rookie year.
Yeah, he just wasn't able to stay healthy. I mean, looks dominant in spurts. Gets you thinking, okay, he's back, man. His body betrays him.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Ginobili kicks to Mills. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Pass to Ginobili. 4 on the clock. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And talking about Howard, always a perennial double-doubles leader. Last year, through the injuries, he dropped down to 23 total double-doubles. But that was in only 41 games. So the average over an 82-game stretch would have put him in the top 5 once again. So clearly, he has a lot left when he's healthy.
Getting back to Dwight Howard, I think he's at a crossroads physically. Had back and knee issues. It's highly unlikely he can be 100% for a full season. You just hope to have him happy and healthy for your most important games.
And that trip coming up empty, missing both.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
Now here's Beverly. He's got 9. And a wide open look for Thornton. And that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard. Thornton's got his second bucket of the night.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. They missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt him inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So, in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
Here's Maniunas after David West's bucket. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Maniunas. Now here's Mills. Tight defense on him. And Anderson kicks it to West. And another basket for San Antonio. 32 seconds left in the first half.
They have a 2-for-1 situation if they go quick.
Yeah, I don't think they have to rush, though, Greg. Just need to find a good shot this time.
Personal foul. Third team foul.
Maniunas dishes to McDaniels. Now here's Beverly, covered by Mills. McDaniels kicks to Thornton. And it's Houston with another.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
And here is Ginobili. He's got 7. Picked by West. Ginobili the pass to Mills for 3. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. It's the Spurs up 5. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Tony, you guys have seemed to be in a good groove lately. Taking a broader look at the season, what's important for this team to have success this year?
To stay healthy. I like our chances this year. Our young guys got a lot of experience, and we play good basketball right now, so hopefully we can stay healthy and play good at the end of the season.
Tony, thank you as always. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Doris, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back in there for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be taking a look back at the first half of basketball. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He had 16 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. After missing last game, it was clearly evident he wanted to make his mark tonight. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, quite simply, their bench showed up tonight. And when I say showed up, I'm talking about on the offensive end, because they were scoring in bunches. Now, you want your reserves to just at least come in and hold the fort, but they did way more than that tonight.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
They got to get more aggressive on the glass. Over the first half, we saw them being schooled down low. You know what I'm going to say, Ernie? Barbecue chicken. If I was coach in the locker room right now, they'd be getting an earful. Extra rebounding. Effort will pay off in other ways. The energy is really where it starts. Something like that, Ernie.
That's going to do it for now as the second half is just about ready to get started. We'll see you later.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
On the court right now for the Spurs, Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Duncan is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in at the small forward position. Now, here is Lawson, following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. Here's Howard. That one a little long. San Antonio leading by 5. Pass to Leonard. Montejunas with the steal. He feeds it to Harden. It's Lawson, top of the key. The shot is off. Great D that time from Duncan. Spurs shooting it very well tonight, around 57%. Harden against Green. Kicks it to Duncan. Inside, here's Leonard. It's rebounded by Houston. Howard's got 8 rebounds in this game. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Leonard with the steal. Parker against Harden. Feeds to Leonard. All alone. And it's good on the assist by Parker. 18 points for Kawhi Leonard.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to 5 there thanks to the basket from Brewer. The Spurs have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. Leonard on the wing. A baseline J. Good again. He's on tonight. 9 for 13 shooting.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
Lawson kicks to Montejunas. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on that one. Well, as Greg was just talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammon, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
Good on the second free throw.
Checking out the game Montejunas has been having. 9 points and a couple of great-looking rejections. So far, 2 blocks.
Yeah, you know, he's had a great feel for their ball movement down low and for where to be when the shot's going up.
Here is Harden following the bucket by the Spurs. Screen by Howard. It's Harden with the drive. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. And here is our 2K leaderboard with the list of the NBA's toughest defensive teams over the course of the last 10 games. Number 1, the Spurs. The Rockets 4th.
I mean, great teamwork and great schemes at both ends of the floor. You're seeing that from each of these clubs, and this is what defense is all about.
That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 6, and the basket from Ty Lawson. Out of bounds, Houston takes possession.
A moment now to see the numbers for Lawson. Some nice work from him over the last 10 games. Averaging about 11 points, 8 assists, and 2 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
You know, the scheme just seems to run much more smoothly when he's in the game because he knows where everybody is at all times.
Yunus, and he slams it one-handed.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
And so it's San Antonio with it. The Rockets making the shot. Parker dishes to Aldridge. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
That's exactly how it should be done. Get the bump, concentrate on the shot, and you'll get the bucket too.
Jones checked in for Yunus. For San Antonio, they have missed 4 of their 8 free throws up to this point. Things not really going their way at the line yet.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season. But he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
And Aldridge postponing that thumb injury surgery, even though they said it might double his eventual recovery time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty admirable that he was out there because he wasn't just playing in pain. He was playing hurt. That shows you his commitment to winning.
James Harden.
Well, guys, James Harden, quite possibly the most devastating rim attacker in the league today, just refuses to slow down. Wayne Clark, he's going right at the basket.
Yeah, he's got it all, Kevin. I mean, he's so thick and strong and has deceptive moves and explosiveness. When he gets inside, he's scoring or you're fouling.
That one is no good.
When you're defending Harden, it really is a pick-your-poison situation. I mean, we talked about his driving, but you can't gap him because he's also a very good shooter and passer. So that double team that you want to provide as well, he's real good at finding that open man.
Tell you what, guys, his size really comes into play when there's a rebound battle going on. He's got an advantage in there.
Outside Lawson. He dishes it to Brewer. Lawson the pass to Jones. And that one is stuffed right through.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession. And guys, another thing about Harden, he draws so much attention defensively. So even when he misses around the rim, oftentimes it's going to create offensive rebound opportunities for the Rockets. So he takes the whole defense with him.
Here is Howard following the basket by Tim Duncan. It's good, and the San Antonio lead is cut down to just 3 in the basket from Terrence Jones.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Double team on Parker to the paint. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. And when you talk about all-time career numbers, there is one name in NBA history that shows up time and time again. Wilt Chamberlain, Wilt the Stilt, with 23,924 rebounds. His name synonymous with greatness on the basketball court.
And guys, I don't think there will ever be another player that will dominate their position like Wilt Chamberlain did. And it's those rebounding numbers that paint the picture the most clearly. I mean, Wilt averaged almost 23 rebounds a game. Not just over a season, folks, over the course of his entire career. 11 rebounding titles, and his career total just shy of 24,000. I mean, nobody in the modern era has even come close to that.
Both free throws good from Aldridge.
Yeah, the Rockets were able to make it to the second spot in the West at the very end of the season. Actually came down to the last day. They could have ended as low as 6th going into the final games.
Harden with it. Now Green defending. Here's Jones. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but drew contact. He'll head to the line. Tim Duncan picks one up.
And that's how you want to use your fouls, not allowing him to get to the rim.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good play. I mean, you stopped a sure thing slam dunk with that foul. And I think you send a bit of a message, too, about your physicality and force in the basket area.
And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Spurs.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
Yeah, but they also never seem to get cold from mid-range. Just kept hitting those shots with consistency.
And so Jones nails both of them. Last season for the Rockets, they finished as the #2 team in the West to the Golden State Warriors. But, you know, they had to battle the whole way through.
Yeah, in part because of injuries. I mean, the Rockets did well to come in second in the West, but it was because they took care of the so-called easy games. 33 wins in the conference, but a record of 12-16 against the other playoff teams out West. You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Parker kicks to Duncan. Rebounded by Howard. Howard's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Harden outside. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart, and let's face it, they have not brought their A game on that side of the ball.
And he gets it to go. And that's now 10 points for Tim Duncan.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
Lawson drives in. Rebound by Tony Parker. Parker's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Leonard. No good. The Rockets go the other way with it. They are right on the brink of taking the lead.
This is an absolutely critical juncture in this game.
Harden dishes to Lawson. Releases from 15 for the tie. Count that as his 7th field goal in 10 tries. He's shooting a very good 70%.
And the road back into this game wasn't a short one, but they managed to make it all the way back and tie this thing up.
And, Greg, I've got to admit to you, I mean, I did not think they were going to get all the way back. I thought they were done. But they've shown some serious resilience and character to battle this far back.
Here is Brewer, following the score by Tony Parker. Jones, the pass to Brewer. He had a nice open look right there. Brewer's got the game tied up here for the Rockets. For San Antonio, they've gone 8 of 13 on shot attempts to begin the second half. Parker kicks to Aldridge. And it's good on the assist by Parker. 19 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
He's on fire. And they needed to put their heads together to figure out how to get the ball out of his hand.
Well, the players you see on this list know a little bit about putting points on the board. They're the shooting guards averaging the most points over the last 10 games. 4th, James Harden.
And night after night, we see this group punish opposing defenses. I mean, if you pick one way to deal with them, they'll beat you another way.
Yeah, you don't have to take a long look at their point totals to see that this is the premier group of scorers at the premier scoring position in the NBA. Shooting guards can flat out bring it.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. KJ McDaniels, he's checked in for Brewer. Thornton comes in for James Harden. And it's Patrick Beverley in for Ty Lawson. Now here's Ginobili. He's got 7. Here's West. Off the mark with the outside fadeaway.
And, you know, coaches just love players who they can count on to give that effort defensively.
And he clearly is one of those guys, Greg. We saw it right there. Nice work forcing that miss.
Here's Beverly. He's got 9. Houston moving it around. Here's McDaniels. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. Howard's got assist number 5 here tonight. Playing alongside James Harden, a lot less pressure, too, on Dwight Howard to carry the load offensively these days. It's certainly, Clark, made things easier for him.
Not only easier, I think it's been more comfortable for him as a secondary scorer. Rolling to the rim, crashing the offensive glass. Those are things he can do at a high level for a lot longer, I think.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
Here's Mills. 5 points in the game. 6 on the shot clock. From deep. And the rebound goes to the Rockets.
And listen, Howard took his share of criticism for not being more aggressive and polished, scoring on the low post. The Rockets, though, a numbers-minded team. They know he's at his best as a rim runner in the pick and roll.
San Antonio foul call. Patty Mills. That's his second personal foul.
And for Howard, really his biggest shortcoming offensively has been the free throw shooting. I mean, he averages close to 9 attempts per game over the course of his career. If he could improve that shot, boy, you talk about making a big difference in his production.
Well, KJ McDaniels in this one, 9 points, and he's been delivering a healthy dose of helpers, too.
He really has, Clark. Always with his head up, looking to make the pass, trying to find the open man. That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on Ginobili. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
The first free throw is good.
And, you know, for the Rockets, they had a major gut check in the second round. Went down 3-1 against the Clippers. Came back to win the series in 7, including Game 6. When I dozed off when they were trailing by 19 in the 4th and was shocked to wake up in the morning and see they had forced the 7th game.
And the Rockets making a change here. Montezumas has checked in.
And with the Rockets last postseason, their trip to the conference finals was as far as they would go. Went out to the Warriors in 5 games. Most of them, though, close ones. I think most fans were pleased with how far the team went last year in spite of all the injuries.
Now here's Ginobili. 7 points in the game. And stolen by Thornton. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Looking to end the drought. His shot is off. And Houston the other way now. Now Beverly. He's got 9. Here's Jones. And good. He got the English that time as it falls. Jones has got 11 points here in just the second half. A moment to check in with Doris Spurs. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He told his guys that their offense needed to run through West. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Now here's West. 10 points for him.
And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but the opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade, only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
Free throw good, West. Well, Greg, getting back to West, even though his scoring was down, his playmaking was up. You were talking about that. Clark, 3.5 assists a game last season, by far the highest number of his career.
Yeah, one of the very best pros I've ever been around. He's very smart. He's tough. He's all about team. And, you know, he makes things happen. Impacts winning in a lot of ways, and those assist totals indicate that.
Well, David West's usage and overall numbers have ticked away with time. He's still as efficient as ever.
Yeah, not the over 50% field goal guy he used to be, but still a valuable contributor on the block.
Now here's Mills, defended by Beverly. Diaw with a screen on Beverly.
Patrick Beverly. That's his first.
And for West, a lot of what he brings to the table is just professionalism, leadership, and a real example of how to get the most out of what you've got. He keeps everybody on the team focused, too. When he speaks, guys listen.
And the first one at the line is good.
West guy's still very strong as a player, but clearly it's his leadership that sets him apart. Does all those little intangibles that help teams win games.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
You know, you take a look at this group of Spurs and you wonder if they've peaked. I mean, it seems you say that a lot with this team, and they prove you wrong. What Popovich said last year, he feels it might actually be the case.
Now here's Mills, defended by Beverly. Diaw up top, plenty of space. Here's Leonard, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Leonard's got 8 here in the quarter.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
Now here's Beverly, covered by Mills. Now here's Beverly. 9 points in the game so far. You know, one thing about this San Antonio team, they just didn't go away last year. Pop himself said he felt they peaked in the 2014 finals.
You know, and you wonder if what Pop said is true. Spurs lost in the first round last year, and they'll be going through a lot of changes in the near future. And with the way they run that organization, they'll still be competing, I believe, for quite some time.
6 to shoot. Lets it go from 14. And the rejection by Leonard. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Rockets lead by 8. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. Harden with it. Modiunas and Howard the post pair. Lawson out there with Harden. And it's Brewer in at the 3 slot. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Now here's Modiunas from 15 feet away. San Antonio with the rebound. Aldridge has got his 6th rebound on the night. Duncan with the screen for Parker. Lets it go with a 3. Offensive rebound. Good. And that's 21 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
And here's Lawson. There's a screen by Motiejunas. Lawson dishes to Motiejunas. And there's the call on Howard. That's foul number 2 for him. You can see the leadership qualities on display right there, guys.
You know, he's their coach on the floor. There's no doubt about that. A great communicator, a great teammate, and as you mentioned, Kevin, a tremendous leader.
Parker passes to Aldridge. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Outside Leonard. Shot clock at 5. And the wide open shot from Green. Drills it from outside.
The defenders need to recognize and be alert to staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Houston leading by 3. And Lawson with the drive. Throws it up high. And it's Howard finishing it off.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now, they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
He's not exactly striping them from deep. He had 1 3 ball in the first half. Still bagels in the second.
Spurs trail by 5. Parker kicks to Green. The 3. Dwight Howard grabs the board.
And that's not the best of shot selection there. The defense definitely won that possession.
Yeah, I think in that case, you've got to go elsewhere with the ball. You just can't rise up over the top of him when he's on you.
And now both teams really in a groove.
This game already, guys, was high scoring, but they've really amped and ramped it up to another level down the stretch.
That coverage is just too weak. I mean, heading down the stretch, that sort of defensive lapse can cost you a game.
Howard with a screen on Leonard. It's stolen by Duncan. And now it's Leonard running. Here we go. All the way. Good. Now it's just a 3-point Rocket lead.
Tim Duncan, even in his advanced years, showing you that great vision and still getting it done. Nice pass.
Here's Lawson. To the middle. That's good from Howard on the assist by Lawson. And that's 10 points for Howard.
You know, it's really going to be all about hard work from this point on. And they worked hard to create that high-quality shot right there.
No question. That's their goal down the stretch here. I think finding those close-range rhythm shots. Yeah, I think he just sees some things that can be improved and wants to get everybody back on the same page.
And usually that, to me, is a good use of the timeout. I mean, if there's something that he's noticed that can give his team a lift, I think he's got to try to take advantage of that.
Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. With his team struggling from three-point territory, he told them to start looking for more high-quality shots inside the paint. We're forcing too many threes, he said. Stop with the bombs and work it inside.
Thanks, Doris. Down low, here's Green. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. Green's got 5 points now this quarter.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They really are, and their last 3 buckets have come by way of an assist.
Motiejunas banked in off the glass. And the Rockets lead by 5.
And such a steady hand. I mean, he's one of those guys that's really allowed them to take the lead.
Well, he's just so reliable and dependable and consistent, especially here today. I mean, his shooting percentage is off the charts.
Here's Lawson. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Rockets.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
Another thing they've done tonight is work the ball into the paint for plenty of those close-range points. You got to have those.
And they're having a lot of trouble at the line today, and unfortunately, it's the kind of day we've seen this team have a lot.
He's perfect from the line this time. It's no secret, Clark, what this Houston Rockets team wants to do. They want to get to the line, drive the lane, and hurt you from outside the arc.
And they'll do it all at a very fast pace. I mean, they're fun to watch. The pace is something that I think sneaks up on teams sometimes, Kevin.
Good point. Rockets leading by 5.
Timeout charge to Houston.
Okay, fans, put your hands together for the Rockets Power Dancers.
Screen by Howard. Here's Moniunas. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Moniunas has got 9 points here in the second half. Lawson's against Parker. Over in the corner, Green. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
In transition, here comes San Antonio. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
One shot, gentlemen.
That's good from Green.
Looking at the game Green has been having, he has 11 points and a decent little assist total for him, too.
No doubt. They'd like to see that carry over to the rest of the team. Get good assist numbers all the way around. And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Parker kicks to Leonard. Aldridge a screen. Leonard dishes to Aldridge. Rebounded by Howard.
Now, nice work there to contest the finish inside.
You know, they got the shot they wanted, but his defense, deterred them from those plans.
And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And really, he's just done a great job of finding the open man every trip down.
Boy, it sure has seemed as though he's done it every time. It's been an awesome display of passing for him today. The clear look at the hoop, he doesn't miss many of those.
Brewer with the ball. He's picked up by Parker, and he gets it to go. And now it's a 9-point Rocket lead.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
Here's Leonard. And, yep, a couple bounces, and it falls. Leonard's got 14 points here in the second half.
He's been ready to do work in the fourth quarter.
Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Double team on Parker. Aldridge kicks to Green. And the powerful one-handed slam.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Here's Lawson after the basket by San Antonio. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Brewer, and Houston again with the bucket.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
Now Leonard. Parker passes to Aldridge. Leonard attacking. And there's the pass to Parker. Beyond the arc. Green missing again. Rockets leading by 7. Harden dishes to Lawson. Green with the block. Parker against Lawson. Here's Aldridge. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Aldridge has got 6 points in the quarter.
And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
Lawson is doubled. Here's Harden. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
You got to like how they're getting the ball inside this half. They didn't have as much success earlier in the game, but now they're showing real determination in taking it inside to score.
Manu Ginobili's checked in for San Antonio. Spurs trail by 8. Dishes it to Leonard. Ring shot on the way. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Ginobili's got 3 assists now in this one. Houston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Passes to Lawson. Lawson is doubled. Manu sets a screen for Harden. There's the dish to Manu. And it's good. Manu has got 19 points.
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
Parker double-teamed. Duncan left side. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Exactly. I mean, no way you expect him to miss that shot.
Now here's Lawson. Howard misses. Parker outside. He kicks it to Aldridge. They grab their own miss. Leonard. Nice work on the boards. Paying off with the basket. Leonard's got 34 points.
This quarter has brought out the best in them, fellas. Even though they're still trailing, he's been impossible to contain.
Leonard against Lawson. There's the feed to Harden. He's looking for Howard and finds him. Rebound, Kawhi Leonard. Leonard's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Fires from 14. Good. He hits the jump shot. Leonard's got 36.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Now here's Lawson. Modiunas a screen on Ginobili. So the wing on the left. All sorts of time. Modiunas no luck.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Leonard against Modiunas. Leonard on the wing. Back to Ginobili. Takes a 3. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 4 assists now tonight.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Now, here is Lawson, and he gets it to go. Brewer's got 4 points this quarter.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
All right, Houston, coming out of the corner, your own Rockets power dancer. Give it up.
Parker kicks to Duncan. And it's San Antonio with another.
And now this game's taken on a whole new feel since halftime.
Boy, you can actually feel it. It's palpable. The energy level on both sides has really gone up a bunch.
All right.
And so here is Houston. They've led by as many as 11 points. And it's Howard finishing it off.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And, guys, anytime it's real tight, you're looking for something that could be potentially a momentum builder. And that's exactly what that play looks to be.
.151 left in the fourth quarter. That one's in there. Rocket lead is cut to just 1 point on the basket from Ginobili.
I mean, you never expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game. Yeah, it looks like he saw some things out there that need to be adjusted, and he's going to take a break here and talk it over.
Hey, you know, coaches sometimes need a break in the action to rethink and retool a bit. Anytime you're in that situation, it makes sense to use the timeout.
We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. Harden can't hit.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you can see the frustration on his face.
Here's Duncan. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Houston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Lonnie Eunice, and he's good on the three ball. Lonnie Eunice has got 14 points now in the second half.
First three of the half. Second of the game. Can he heat up?
Aldridge's shot is good.
Man, that they need those points. And I bet he's the guy that continues to go for it.
Well, unless they alter the defense on him, I mean, he should be the guy they go to. His height gives him a huge edge the way they're playing him now. So keep going to it until the defense adjusts.
Spurs trail by 4. Inside, here's Ginobili. And it's good on the assist by Parker. 14 points for Manu Ginobili.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Now here's Harden. Shot clock at 6. Takes the 13-footer. It falls!
Man, they're getting a fantastic effort from James Harden right now.
Parker with it. Now Lawson defending. Here's Duncan. No good. Good D by Howard. And now we've got the intentional foul.
That's his second personal foul.
This may be their most important possession.
No doubt about it. As long as they don't make any major mistakes, this one's in the bag.
Lawson has been all sorts of problems for him. He's got 11 points and a crazy number of assists. He may have saved his best for last here in the fourth.
And that's the kind of timing you really want, guys.
So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Good work at the line to stretch that lead out a little bit.
There's 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Pass to Aldridge. Fades and shoots. Matajunas grabs the miss, and he commits the intentional foul.
That's his second personal foul. At the line for your Rockets, James Harden. Taking 2 shots.
Shooting two.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game. Ginobili the pass to Mills. And Diaw kicks to Mills. Ginobili with the 3. Pass to Diaw. He feeds it to Anderson. This one for 3. The shot, no good.
And that's playing into the hands of the defense right there.
No way you can sneak that shot by him, Greg. I mean, he was all on top of that one.
So we see the Rockets get the win here. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, and I thought good execution really played a big part throughout.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Dwight, coming off the loss in last game, what was the difference tonight in how this team played?
You know, we got a good win tonight coming from a tough game last night. We started out strong. We just stuck with it. We stayed together. And we got a good win.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now we'll send it up to the award-winning Ernie Johnson, who is standing by for the post-game show.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Ty Lawson. Double figures in both points and assists for the double-double that led the way tonight. He was their motor offensively and really got the team fired up. What are your thoughts, Kenny, on his game tonight?
Ty Lawson is one exciting player. His speed and quickness is something to behold. He can break the defense down, get in the lane. He's tough to guard, and I don't know how you stop him in transition.
They were riding a 2-game losing streak coming to this game and could not afford to drop 3 in a row. He rose to the occasion for them tonight, big time. They needed this sort of performance from him. He took his game up a few notches. Love it, Ernie.
And that will do it for our special Christmas Day broadcast of the NBA here on 2K Sports. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon, and good night, everybody.